Good day everyone. So in this lesson, in this video, we'll talk about the language of sets. So this is the second topic of our module. So we already done about discussing the variables, and we have discussed also the universal, existential, and then the conditional statement. So now we will discuss about the language of sets. So what is a set? So a set, it is a well-defined collection of distinct objects. It represented by a capital letter. So a set is represented by a capital letter. And yung nasa loob ng set, it is separated by a comma. Then ano yung tawag doon sa loob ng set, sa loob ng braces? The objects that belong in a set are the elements or members of the set. And it can be represented by listing its elements between braces. Okay, so yung set is represented by a capital letter, then yung nasa loob ng set are what we call the elements or members of the set, and it can be represented by listing the elements between braces. So kumbaga merong bracket. Then each element are separated by a comma. So we have here the capital letter. So say for example, set A is equal to, then we have to put dalawang braces dito, then we need to put elements inside these braces, then the elements were separated by a comma. So say for example, alphabets in the, or vowel letters in the alphabet. So we have A, E, I, O, so separated by a comma, O, and then we have here U. So yeah, this is an example of a set. A set is A to be well-defined if the elements in a set are specifically listed. Example, so halimbawa, yung una, set A. So set A, so we have here the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 elements. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, say for example, these are the sets of counting numbers from 1 to 5. And set B, okay, so yung example ko kanina, that vowel letters in the alphabet. So there are also 5 number of elements in set A. And we have set C. So set C, we have the set of even numbers. So kapag gagawa ng set, pwede ring letters, pwedeng numbers, and pwede ring words. So set of even numbers. Okay, so there are more even numbers. So we start with 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Basta divisible siya by 2. And 0 is an even number. Okay. So notation, if S is a set, the notation X is an element S means that X is an element of S. So how do we read this one? How do we read this notation? It means that X is an element of S. So S natin is a capital letter that represented by a set. So yun. So ito yung set natin, we represent set as S. So yung X natin, we represent this as an element. So ibig sabihin nasa loob siya ng set S. So it means that X is an element of S. The notation X is not element means that X is not an element of S. So ibig sabihin, yung X is not part of the element of set S. Pag meron siyang ganitong symbol. So yung symbol niya is yung E, then parang may pa-slant. So ibig sabihin, that is not. Parang sa equal sign lang siya. We have here the equal sign, and then we have here the not equal. So pag not equal, we draw a slant line. Okay. So a variation of the notation is sometimes used to describe a very large set. So a variation of the notation is sometimes used to describe a very large set. So say for example, it refers to the set of all integers from 1 to 100. So you can list them pwede nating i-list yung number from 1 to 100, pero may mas parang shortcut way tayo na pwedeng gawin by the use of this symbol. So we have here, itong symbol na to. So ibig sabihin that from 1, 2, 3, meron pa ditong number until the last number, which is 100. So pwedeng ganon. Then, it refers to the set of all positive integers. So what are the positive integers? So start tayo sa 1. So 1, 2, 3, and so on. So we use again this symbol to represent that meron pa diyang kadugtong na number, set of all positive integers. Okay, so anong tawag dyan sa symbol na yan? So we call that symbol as an ellipsis. So this is what we call an ellipsis. So it is read as and so forth, parang and so on and so forth. So refer to the set of all positive integers. We have here 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So parang ganun siya. And we have refers to the set of all integers from 1 to 100, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth, then 100, the last number. So dito parang may fixed na number. Okay? So dito, infinite siya. Infinite siya. Kasi hindi natin alam kung saan magsa-stop si positive integers. So meron siyang positive infinity. Okay. So using the set roster notation, a set may be specified using the set roster notation by writing all of its elements between braces. Example, let A is equal to 1, 2, 3, B is equal to 3, 2, 1, and C is equal to 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. So what are the elements of A, B, and C, and how are A, B, and C related? Okay, so tingnan natin. We have A, B, and C. So what are the elements of A, B, and C? So A, B, and C have exactly the same three elements. So we have here 1, 2, 3. So no matter what the arrangement of the element, as long as pare-pareha sila, yun lang din yung kanilang elements. So kahit na magkaroon pa siya ng triple or double number, as long as parehas lang siya, we count that as 1. Okay, so yung A, B, and C have exactly the same three elements. We have 1, 2, and 3. So therefore, A, B, and C are simply different ways to represent the same set. Okay, so iba-iba lang sila ng pagkakasulat pero pare-parehas lang ang kanilang elements. So ibig sabihin, kahit na maulit to ng ilang beses, we count this as 1. And then we have 2, then, di ba tatlong 3 to? So we count this as 1 element. So 3 lang yan. Okay? Next. Is this 1 is equal to 0? So set that we have an element of 0 is equal to 0. Are they equal? Okay. So for this one, this is not equal because itong ganitong bracket, meron siyang bracket, then we have the element 0 is a set with one element. Whereas, yung 0 dito is just the symbol that represent the number 0. Kumbaga 0 siya. Ibig sabihin, they are not equal. Kasi kung halimbawa 1 to, ibig sabihin ito, it refers to the number of elements, kung ilang elements meron. Itong may braces dito, this is an example of a set na merong 1 element. And 0 is just the symbol. So, hindi pa rin sila equal. A set may be specified using the set roster notation by writing all of its elements. So, para sa kanina, how many elements are in the set? So, as you can see, meron ditong malaking set. Then, sa loob niya, meron pang another set. But, yung tanong dito is, how many elements are in the set? So, there are 2 elements, which is 1, and the set whose only element is 1. Okay? So, dito, merong 1 element lang kasi nandyan si 1. Then, this one is only 1 element with 1 as the element. So, ibig sabihin, there are 2 elements in this set. Itong kabuuang set na to. Okay? Next example, for each na negative integer n, let u sub n is equal to n, then we have the negative n. So, u sub 1, u sub 2, and then u sub 3. Find u sub 1, u sub 2, and then u sub 0 rather. Okay, so dito, kung ano yung value dito ng n, yun din yung value dito na nasa element, na nasa loob ng braces. So kung halimbawa we have u sub 1, so u sub 1 is equal to 1, then negative 1. So there are 2 elements. And then u sub 2, so kung ano yung nandito, yun din yung ilalagay dito sa element. So we have 2 and negative 2. So there are 2 elements. And for u sub 0, we have 0 and negative 0, and we all know that wala namang negative na 0. So that is equivalent to 0 lang. So as you can see, dalawang nauulit na number, so therefore, the elements of u sub 0 is only 0 or the number of elements is only 1. So, 1 lang yung element niya. Kasi walang negative na 0. Okay? So, some commonly used sets are as follows. So, these are the Cartesian sets of numbers na kailangan natin malaman. So, una is yung symbol na n. So, yung n natin, these are the set of all natural numbers or counting numbers. So, we have 1, 2, 3, and so on. Then, z naman is the set of all integers. So, set of all integers, we have negative 2, negative 1, 1, 2, and so on. So, both positive and then both negative. Then we have the set of all rational numbers. We have the repeating decimals. Then Q prime is the set of all irrational numbers. Non-repeating decimals sila. And W naman is a set of whole numbers. So, set of whole numbers, ibig sabihin, kasama na dito si 0, then the positive integers, counting numbers. And set of all real numbers, so sa set of all real numbers, kasama po yan lahat. The natural numbers, under na natural numbers, integers, rational, irrational, and whole numbers. So, sa real numbers, under niya yung mga, this one, itong N, Z, Q, Q prime, and W. And then, we have here the Z plus. So, Z plus, set of all positive integers. So, lahat lang po positive integers. And then, Z minus, set of all negative integers. Okay? So, they set of all negative integers. Set builder notation. So let S denote a set and let P of X be a property that elements of S may or may not satisfy. So we may define a new set to be the set of all elements X in S such that P of X is true. So in symbol, we write this as X is an element of S such that P of X. So, yung P of X is yung property ng elements na magsasatisfy dito sa S, which is our set. Okay? So, X is an element of set S such that P of X. So, how do we read this kind of symbol? So, this is element and then this one is such that. So, kumbaga, X is an element of S such that P of X. So, example, given that R denotes the set of all real numbers, Z is the set of all integers, and Z plus the set of all positive integers, describe each of the following set. So, number 1, X is an element of R, wherein X, ito yung property, is greater than negative 2 but less than 5. Number 2, X is an element of Z, wherein or such that X is greater than negative 2 but less than 5. And X is an element of Z plus or positive integers, wherein X is greater than negative 2 but less than 5. So let us first discuss the first example. So we have here X is an element of R such that X is greater than negative 2 but less than 5. Okay, so greater than negative 2 but less than 5, and as you can see, the inequality here is greater than, and then we have the less than. Wala naman siyang nakalagay na equal. Kaya, negative 2 and 5, they are just, sila lang yung parang boundary natin. But they are not included in the elements. They are not part of the element of X. Okay? So, X is greater than R. So, X is an element of R. Then, X is greater than negative 2 but less than 5. It is an open interval. So, pag sinabi natin open interval, if we are going to graph this on a number line, naka-open interval lang siya. Ibig sabihin, hollow circle lang siya. Hindi siya naka-shaded circle because negative 2 and 5 are not part of the element of X. So, ito yung graph niya. So, we have here the graph, negative 2 and then positive 5. Sila yung magiging reference number natin. And they are not part of the elements, kaya naka-shaded, naka-hollow circle siya. Okay, so yung nakapaloob dito, they are part of the element of X. So, ito lang po siya. So, X is an element of R. Element of R. Number 2, X is an element of Z where such that X is greater than -2 but less than 5. So greater than -2 but less than 5, and we have here the set Z. So set Z, set of all positive and negative integers, or set of all integers. Okay. Sample. It is ano yung mga value that will satisfy to the given property that X is greater than -2 but less than 5. So we have here -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So you just get the numbers that are in between of -5 and then +5 na integer. So pag sinabing integer, whole number lang. Next is X is an element of Z plus such that X is greater than -2 but less than 5. Okay, so dito naman magpo-focus tayo sa positive numbers. So we have here the positive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so since all the integers Z plus are positive, then X is a X is an element of Z plus. Okay, so we have here 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's proceed to the definitions of regarding set. So una, a set is well defined if it is possible to determine whether any given item is an element of the set. So a set is well defined if it is possible to determine whether any given item is an element of the set. Example, so nabanggit ko yung well defined kanina sa definition ni set. So, in other words, kapag well-defined yung given set, they are countable. Nabibilang natin sila. Nalilist natin sila isa-isa. Pero pag sinabi natin not well-defined, you cannot count them, you cannot list them all, and hindi pwedeng, kadalasan din ginagamit is adjective. Hindi natin sila pwedeng isulat. Example. Example 1, the set of letters of the English alphabet is well-defined. So, there are 26 letters and pwede natin silang masulat, yung 26. So, ibig sabihin, well-defined siya. Next, the set of grade criminology students is not well-defined. So, the set of grade criminology students is not well-defined. Okay. So, tama yon kasi hindi naman natin mabibilang kung ilan yung mga grade criminology students na meron tayo. Because we use the word great, and great is an adjective. We cannot count them all. Okay? Then, halimbawa, another example, an honest president in the Philippines. So, not well-defined siya. Why? Kasi hindi naman natin alam kung sino ba yung honest na president, or hindi naman natin mabibilang kung sino ba yung mga honest na president ng Philippines. Okay? So, not well-defined siya. Okay, next is, a set is finite if the number of elements in the set is a whole number. So, pag finite yung set, yung number of elements in the set is a whole number. Okay? So, example, A is equal to odd numbers less than 15. So, we can list them, list down the odd numbers that are less than 15. And yung number of elements ng set A is a whole number. So, we have here, say for example, i-list down muna natin siya. So, halimbawa, we have here A is equal to, so odd numbers are, start tayo kay 1. So, a braces, so we have here 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and we have 13. So, these are the odd numbers that are less than 15. So, how many number of elements in set A do we have? So, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, there are 7 elements in set A. So, 7 is a whole number. So, therefore, set A is a finite. Next is months that end with birth. So, how many or what are the months that end in birth? So, we have here October, November, December, September, October, November, December. So, there are 4 number of elements or 4 months that end with ber. So, ibig sabihin, ilan lang yung number of elements we have here? 4. And 4 is a whole number. Therefore, set B is a finite. Next is numbers from 2 to 17 that are divisible by 3. So, numbers from 2 to 17 that are divisible by 3. Okay. So, i-list down muna natin sila kung ano-ano yon. So, divisible by 3, ibig sabihin, we can add the numbers by 3. So, start tayo kay 3. Kasi from 2 to 17 and 2 is not divisible by 3. So, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, and then we have here 15. So, i-count natin yung number of elements kung ilan. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, there are 5 elements. And 5 is a whole number. Therefore, set C is a finite set. Next, a set is an infinite if the number of elements cannot be counted. So, a set is an infinite if the number of elements cannot be counted. So, parang not well-defined siya. Okay? So, example, even numbers greater than 30. So, we cannot count even numbers that are greater than 30. Therefore, this is an infinite set. So, pwede natin siyang i-list down. So, what are the even numbers that are greater than 30? So, pwede tayong magsimula dito as 32 because 32 is divisible by 6 and 32 is an even number. So, 32. Then, we have 34, even number. Then, we have 36. So, hindi na natin siya isusulat as i-continue natin siya kasi wala namang nilagay dyan kung hanggang saan lang. So, 32, 34, 36, then put an ellipsis. And so on and so forth. Okay. So, ganun siya. Ellipsis. Okay? Next. Numbers that are divisible by 6. So, at least 3 consecutive numbers that are divisible by 6. So, we have here 6, 12, 18, then put an ellipsis, comma, then tatlong ellipsis. Okay. So, ganun po siya. So, therefore, this is an infinite set. And set C, we have stars in the sky. So, stars in the sky, you cannot count the stars in the sky. Okay? So, therefore, in real life situation, this is an infinite set. Okay? Marami pa tayong makikita ditong infinite set. Mango tree in province of Sorsogon. So, hindi naman natin mabibilang kung ilan yung mango tree na dito sa Sorsogon. Okay? Okay, next. So, equal sets. Equal sets are sets that have exactly same element and same cardinality. So, pag sinabi po natin cardinality, it pertains or it refers to the number of elements. Okay? Example. A is equal to LOBE and then set B is equal to EOLB. So, bilangin natin kung ilan yung number of elements. So, in set A, we have 4 elements. Set B, we have 4 elements then. So, ibig sabihin, same cardinality siya. Same number element. And same element, meron bang L dito sa set B? So, meron. And we have here O. Meron din dito. V and V. E and E. So, therefore, this is an example of an equal set. So, pag equal set, exactly. Pag equal set, exactly same element and same cardinality. And we have the equivalent set. So, pag sinabi natin equivalent sets, these are the sets have the same number of elements. So, dito, hindi na dito nag-vary kung anong element meron yung isang set or yung dalawang set. As long as they have the same number of elements, then they are equivalent. Example. A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and B is equal to A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so in set A, dito sa set A, meron tayong 5 elements. And in set B, we have also 5 elements. So therefore, these sets are equivalent set. Okay? So these sets are equivalent set. So same number of elements, but different elements, equivalent set siya. And pag same element and same number of elements, equal set siya. Okay, so kaya kadalasan that equal sets are also considered as an equivalent set. But equivalent set, sometimes hindi natin siya pwedeng sabihin na equal set siya. Okay? Kasi sa equal set, same element dapat. Okay? Next. Joint sets are set with common elements. So, may intersection. Ibig sabihin, pag joint set, may pagkakaparehas. Example, set A is equal to LOVE and set B is equal to HATE. So, ano yung common element between A and B? Okay, so we have here E. So, therefore, these sets are joint sets. Kasi meron siyang common elements. Next, we have disjoint sets. So, pag sinabi natin disjoint sets, these are the set with no common element. So, no common element kapag disjoint sets. Walang pagkakaparehas. Example, A is equal to ANGR and then B is equal to HOPE. Okay, so in set A and set B, wala namang parehas na element. Therefore, these are an example of a disjoint sets. Next, we have the universal set. So, pag sinabi natin universal set, it is the set of all possible values. So, a set which contains all the sets relevant to a certain condition is called the universal set. Or yung universal set natin, it is denoted by the letter U. So, parang ganun siya. Ibig sabihin, the combination of set A and set B and set C. Elements ng A, B, and C. Yun yung universal set. Example, A is equal to ANGRY and B is equal to HOPE. So, what are the universal set or what are the elements of a universal set? So, lahat po yan. Lahat ng meron dito sa A, we have here ANGRY and then we have HOPE, then we have HOPE in a universal set. Sabihin, lahat ng elements na nasa set A, set B, or any set. Okay? Next, we have the empty set or null set. So, empty set or null set is the set that contains no element. Wala tayong nilalagay na element dyan, kundi empty set sila or null set. So, yung symbol na ginagamit is ito, null set. This is a null set or an empty set. Or yung dalawang braces, blanco lang. So, example, set A, days start with letter N. Meron bang days na nagsisimula sa letter N? Wala. So, therefore, walang element ito. Null set siya. Empty set siya. And triangles with 4 sides. So, triangles with 4 sides, meron ba? Okay, wala rin. So, we have here, empty set is, A is equal to an empty set or null set. Set B, rather. This is set B. Okay. Next slide. Let's proceed now to the subset. So, when we say subset, if A and B are sets, then A is called the subset of B. Written, A is a subset of B if and only if every element of A is also an element of B. So, in other words, dapat yung element na meron sa A, dapat meron din yung element na nasa B. Ibig sabihin, every element of A is also an element of B. So, ganun lang. Example. In symbols, A is a subset of B means that for all elements X, so yung X natin is an element, if X is an element of A, then therefore, X should be an element of B. So, subset siya. Okay? So, kung ano yung meron sa A, yun din dapat, meron din dapat sa B. So, the phrases A is contained in B and B contains A are alternative ways of saying that A is a subset of B. So, in English, we use the word contain. So, kung ano yung meron sa A, dapat meron din sa B. Para masabi natin that A is a subset of B. So, it follows from the definition of a subset that for a set A not to be a subset of set B means that there is at least one element of A that is not an element of B. So, kahit isa doon sa element of A na wala doon sa B, hindi na sila masasabing subset. So, tawag na doon is a proper subset. Okay? So, let A and B be sets. So A is a proper subset of B if and only if every element of A is an element of B and A is not equal to B. So, ibig sabihin, may at least one element lang dyan na wala sa A, proper subset na yung tawag sa kanya. Nawala na at least one element lang dyan na nandoon sa A pero wala sa B, proper subset na yung tawag sa kanya. A is a proper subset of B. Example, let A is equal to Z plus or positive integer, B is equal to N is an element of Z, so Z is an integer, set of all integers, positive or negative integers, such that N is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 100. And our set C is equal to 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Then evaluate the truth and falsity of each of the following statement. Letter A. B is a proper subset of A. So B is a proper subset of A. So tingnan natin. So as you can see, may mga element dito sa B na wala dito sa A. Okay? So kasi dito sa A, all positive integers. Ano yung element na meron dito sa B na wala sa A? So walang iba dyan kundi 0. Because 0 is not an element of A. So therefore, false ito. Because 0 is not a positive integer and 0 is in B but 0 is not in A. So therefore, this is not a subset. So B is not a subset of A. Letter B. C is a proper subset of A. C is a proper subset of A. Okay, true. Because, as you can see, dito sa A, all positive integers. And lahat ng elements na nasa C are all positive integers. I mean, positive integers lang. Kasi nagsimula dito sa 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And sabi dito, C is a proper subset. So, ibig sabihin, pag proper subset, nandoon yung elements sa dalawa. Say, for example, C, merong element si C na nandoon din kay A. Pero, may at least one element lang dyan na nandoon sa A na wala sa C. So, therefore, this statement is true because each element in C is a positive integer and there are elements in A that are not in C. So, for instance, halimbawa, yung 1 nasa element ng A, pero yung 1 is wala dito sa C. Kaya, proper subset siya. So, therefore, C is just a proper subset of A. Next, C and B have at least one element in common. So, C and B at least one element in common. So, true or false? So, ibig sabihin, true dito. Why? Because 100 is in both C and B. So, di ba dito, equal, less than or equal. So, ibig sabihin, dito sa B, part to ng element ng N. So, dito, meron ditong 100. So, therefore, true yung statement letter C. Letter D. C is a proper subset of B. So, C is a proper subset of B. So, this is false. For example, 200 is in C. So, nandito yung 200, but wala siya sa B. So, ibig sabihin, this is not a this is not a subset. Okay? Not a subset. Next, C is a subset of C. True. Why? Because every element of C is in C, tama? So, C. Therefore, or in general, the definition of subset implies that all sets are subsets of themselves. Okay, so C is a subset of C, or B is a subset of B, and A is a subset of A. So, true lahat yun. Because all sets are subsets of themselves. So, distinction between element and a subset. So, which of the following are true statements? So, we have here A, 2 is an element of the sets 1, 2, 3 element. Then set, this one is set kasi meron siyang bracket, is an element of this one. Then 2 is a subset of ito, 1, 2, 3. Then set, this set is a subset of this set which have 3 elements, 1, 2, 3, may tatlong element. And then letter E, meron ditong set, another set, and is a subset of 1, 2, 3 elements. And then we have here, so itong set na to is an element of this 2 sets, 1 and then 2. So only A, D, and F are true. So alin lang dito? We have A, D, and F. Bakit? Because for B, so dito sa B, the set 1, this set would have to contain the element of this one. Kasi ito is a set, kasi meron siyang bracket, then dito naman is also, lahat to is nasa loob ng bracket. Ibig sabihin, another set to. Okay? So, hindi siya pwedeng matatawag na element. But the only elements of 1, 2, 3, so yung element lang dito na 1, 2, 3 is just 1, 2, 3. Yung number na 1, 2, 3. So, wala na dapat na bracket. Ito yung mali dito. Okay? So, for letter C naman, para maging true siya, the number 2 would have to be a set. So, kailangan maging set to. And every element in the set 2 would have to be an element of 1, 2, 3. So, this is not the case. So, C is false. So, ibig sabihin, dito, yung itong number 2 na to is nag-implies that element siya. So, dapat hindi natin gagamitan dito si subset. Okay? And for letter E, para maging true naman si letter E, every element in the set containing only the number 2. So, as you can see, dito, dapat meron pa ditong 1 and 3 para masabi natin na they are subset. Kasi dito, yung kulang dito na element is 1 and 3. So, therefore, letter E is false. Kaya yung true lang po dito is C, A, D, and then C, F. So, ordered pair, given elements A and B, the symbol AB denotes the ordered pair consisting of A and B together with the specification that A is the first term or first element of the pair and B is the second element. So, two ordered pairs A, B, and C, D are equal if and only if A is equal to C and B is equal to D. Okay. Symbolically, the ordered pair AB is equal to CD means that A is equal to B, then B is equal to C. Example, is 1 and 2 equal to 2 and 1? So no, because by definition of equality of ordered pairs, the ordered pair 1, 2 is equal to the ordered pair 2, 1 if and only if 1 is equal to 2 and 2 is equal to 1. So as you can see, they are not equal. So 1 is not equal to 2, so the ordered pairs are not equal. Next, is the ordered pair 3 and 5 and over 10 is equal to the ordered pair the square root of 9 and then 1/2. Yes, because by definition of the equality of ordered pairs, 3 and 5 and 10 is equal to the square root of 9 1/2 if and only if 3 is equal to the square root of 9 and 5 10 is equal to 1/2. And this one are equal because these equations are both true and the ordered pairs are equal. So, what is the square root of 9? So, the square root of 9 is 3. So, therefore, 3 is equal to 3. And how are we going to determine if they are equal? So, you just cross multiply. So, 5 times 2. So, cross multiply lang natin to. So, 5 times 2 is 10. And then 1 times 10 is equal to 10. So, therefore, these fractions are equal. So, ibig sabihin, these ordered pairs are equal. So, let's proceed to the Cartesian product. Given sets A and B, the Cartesian product of A and B denoted A times B and read as A cross B. So, A cross B pala yung pagbasa nito is the set of all ordered pairs AB where A is in A and B is in B. Symbolically, A cross B is equal to, so the ordered pair AB such that A is an element of A and B is an element of B. So the small letter B and then the small letter A is an element of A and is an element of B. Example. So let A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to UV. Find the following. So letter A cross B. Letter B, B cross A. Letter C, B cross B. Okay, cross po yung pagbasa niya na. Okay, solution. So, A cross B is equal to, we just multiply 1 times U or 1 cross U. So, we have here the ordered pair 1U. Then, 1 cross V. So, we have here 1V. Then, yung isa naman 2. Then, multiply cross to U. So, we have 2U. Then, 2 and V, kumbaga dinidistribute lang natin. We have 2, then V, the coordinate 2V. Then 3 and U, so we have here 3U. And 3 and V, so we have here 3V. So yun lang. Kasi kung ano yung nauna po dito, yun lang yung parang i-distribute natin dito sa B. Next is B cross A. So B cross A naman, so magsisimula tayo sa U. So U, pabaliktad tayo. So U and 1. So we have here U1. Then U and 2. I mean V and 1. So we have here V1. Then U and 2. So U2. V and 2. So we have V2. U and 3. So we have U3. Then V and 3. So we have here V3. Okay? Next is B cross B. So, B cross B, so, yung sarili niya, themselves. So, U and B cross, kumbaga, cross themselves, UB. So, we have here U and V. Okay. So, U and U, so we have here U and U. Then, U and V, UV. V and U, VU, and then V and V, then we have here the coordinate VB. So, ganun lang po yung pag-solve ng Cartesian product. So, this is all about the language of sets. Thank you and God bless.